We're talking about Hoka Mach X 2. Welcome back to the channel. I am Cody with the Shoe In With Cody, and today we got ourselves a good one. We're talking about first impressions and some tech specs of the Hoka Mach X 2. I've had this shoe for a little while now. Have about 11-12 miles into it, so I've definitely been putting that work in, and I have a lot to say about this shoe. Now, before I dive into those tech specs and my first impressions, I do need to point out one thing. This shoe was provided to me by Hoka for a review, but they have no idea what I'm going to say in this review, and they have no input on all of my reviews. I also have a favor to ask y'all. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. You know you want to. Absolutely helps the channel, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Now let's sit back, relax, and let's talk about the Hoka Mach X 2. To kick this video off, I'm going to talk about the tech specs of the Mach X 2. There's definitely a lot to talk about the shoe. The foam is really where the magic is at. It's a PBA EVA mix. It's definitely on that, look at that, squishy and definitely that responsive side. Now this is Hoka's kind of speed day shoe to go along with their race day Rocket X 2. This is definitely that speed day, kind of daily trainer kind of shoe. This does have a plate. You can kind of hear it and see it right there. This upper is very, very, very minimal. It is an engineered woven mesh kind of deal. The tongue is gusseted. It's a really nice, pretty much paper thin tongue. And the heel, there's really not much of a heel counter there at all. Really, the foam is really where the magic is at, and the foam is fantastic. I'll definitely get more of that as the video goes on, but that is really where I think Hoka is making those big jumps. You're about 46, I believe, in the heel, 41 in the forefront of this, so you're definitely getting a lot of stack, which is nice. You know, for me personally, the more stack, the better. I think this shoe is about 8.9 ounces in my size, and honestly, for a speed day shoe, that's not bad. I want my speed day shoe and my trainer to be a little bit heavier than my race day shoe. By the time I do strap on the shoe for the marathon or half marathon, I want it to be lighter. So to me, that 8.9 is not a bad range. And on foot, it definitely doesn't feel heavy. And this upper is extremely breathable. Like I said, it's an engineered woven mesh. It's really breathable. It definitely was hot when I got this shoe in Pennsylvania, and no issues at all with sweating at all. Really nice. And they do have rubber on this. For me personally, I'm really happy Hoka started adding rubber to it. I just think it adds to durability, which is just really nice to have. For me, sometimes when it was just that like foam, after maybe 100, 150 miles, I just felt like it was dying a little too quick. Having this one, I definitely think it's going to extend the durability of the shoe. This shoe is definitely on the higher end. This is about $190, which is definitely on that pricier end, especially for tempo day shoes. Other brands, I think it's about that 160 mark, which is still high, but it's definitely a little bit more, you know, easier to manage. 190 is definitely on that higher end, but for 190, you definitely get a lot of the nice tech that Hoka's offering these days. Again, the Mach X 2 is that speed day shoe, long run shoe where you want to pick the paces up. It definitely hits a lot of marks. While I know you love some tech specs, I know you clicked on this video to get my first impressions of the Hoka Mach X 2. Now again, I have about 11 miles, 12-ish miles in the shoe. So again, not a ton, so I need to get more in before my full impressions. But my first impressions, it's a little bit of a mixed review. That's why I need to get more miles in. The foam is freaking awesome. Honestly, underfoot is comfortable and it's responsive, and I feel fast in the shoe. I took this out for a speed day workout. I was marathon training at the time, and I was in the 6s easily. It felt comfortable. It felt fast. I felt like I was just really smooth. It really was. It was just a smooth ride. This upper part right here, I got a nice lockdown in. And no real issues with the gusseted tongue. I know it's like paper thin. It really is. But no issues at all. I didn't feel like the laces were digging into my foot. It just was overall, this portion of the shoe, very comfortable. I also like the grip. It's been a lot of leaves. It's fall time and it's been raining, and I felt like I got a good grip. When I was ripping it, it felt really good. That's where I got to pause. I've taken this on 2 different runs. The first run, I did 6-ish miles, a little over 6 miles. And this heel counter destroyed my foot. I'm talking about blood. I'm talking about it was gnarly. My sock was full of blood. I won't get too graphic. I won't show any of it, but it was a huge issue. 6 miles in, and this just destroyed my foot. Absolutely destroyed my foot. Then I took it for a 5-mile run where I put on some very thick socks. I had Band-Aids, a big Band-Aid. I took it for 5-ish plus miles. Did not destroy my heels this time. So no issues at all. I still was recovering from the previous blisters. So again, I'm still pretty raw, and I put Band-Aids on it. Put very thick socks, like very thick socks, and no issues at all. But that's kind of my problem with that. Should you have to be putting Band-Aids and thick socks to wear this shoe? If you're living in the South or it's hot out, you want a shoe that's very breathable. And if I have to wear like my winter socks for this shoe, it's going to be problematic. Now again, 2 different runs, 2 different experience. One experience, blood everywhere. Second experience, Band-Aid, thick socks, no blood at all. So it definitely seems to be there's something wrong with this heel. There's something in here that's causing blisters. One thing I know is I'm not the only one. A lot of other people have pointed this out, and other people are having that issue. And the crazy thing is I don't think it's because I'm having heel slippage. I think it's just the materials. It's hard to see, but there's a seam right down the middle of the heel. And I think that is what's causing issues. You can kind of see it on the outside right here. There's a seam there, and I think that's what's causing, because I'm not having heel slippage. I have a great lockdown in this shoe, but I'm still getting, my foot is just ripped apart. So I need to get more miles, and I'm a little disappointed in the heel, especially because the foam is so freaking nice. It is so nice. And when I'm dropping $190 on a shoe, it needs to hit across the board. Comfort, no blisters, and it has to be fast, especially if I'm looking for a Tempo Day shoe, a Speedwork shoe. I'm a little disappointed in the heel because the other parts of the shoe are so freaking nice. Now I'm going to continue to put miles in, and I'm going to put my heels on the line for you guys. The next time I run in this shoe, I'm just going to wear regular socks with no Band-Aids. And fingers crossed I do not rip. Maybe it needed a break-in period. That would be the first shoe I've had a break-in period for the heel, but who knows, with shoes being, how they're designed, maybe it needs a break-in period. So I need more miles in. So again, you definitely want to stay tuned for this one, but so far it's inconclusive because of this heel counter. Wait for that full review because I do have a lot more to say from it. So definitely make sure you're hitting the like button and you're smashing the subscribe button, because I got a lot to say about this shoe after I get more miles in, and I want you all to be informed before you spend your hard-earned cash, because $190 is not cheap. You do not want to drop that type of money on a shoe that A, is going to cause you to bleed, or just kind of a dud.